What are the inbuilt column transformations we have? We'll discuss. First, let me copy the list of inbuilt transformations we have. Power query, inbuilt column transformations. So this we'll discuss, guys. There are some inbuilt column transformations. We'll discuss about them. Fine. The first inbuilt transformation, inbuilt column transformation we'll discuss is remove columns. First. So one way to open the Power BI desktop is go to the shortcut, double click on it. It will open. So once you open, you will get a start screen. Just close it. How to open Power Query? Just go to Home tab, click on Transform Data. So in Power Query, we need to discuss about inbuilt column transformations today. Let's bring some tables to discuss it. Click on New Source, click on Excel, Sample Superstore, click on Open. Orders table, people's table, and returns table. Press OK. And then I want to bring some more tables to explain this inbuilt column transformations. So that some more tables are available somewhere here. In this path, I have it. D drive, Power BI material, Power Query, inbuilt column transformations. I shared Power Query material with you. I shared a mail with the name Power Query material. I shared a zip file with you with the name Power Query material. In that zip file, you will find the files which I am using now. Click on Send Mails. I shared one mail with the name Power Query material or Power Query notes. Power Query notes. So in that, I have one zip file. In that mail, I have a zip file. So download this, unzip this folder. When you unzip this folder, you can find these files. Whatever the files I'm going to use now, when you unzip, you can find them, guys. Now, I want some more tables here. Bring some more tables, click on New Source. They are in Excel again. Click on Excel. They're available somewhere in the D drive, this PC, D drive, Power BI material, Power Query, inbuilt column and row transformations. So I am discussing about column transformations, right? Select this column transformations, click on Open. You'll find some tables there. You'll find some more tables there. I want to bring column transformation table, transpose, unpivot, and pivot. So these three tables I want it. Just press OK. The three tables will come to Power Query. Fine. Now, the first column transformation I need to discuss is when you bring the tables. So tomorrow when you join in one company, when client provided the tables, either the Excel or SQL Server, when client provided some tables, tables will contain a lot of columns, guys. In the real time, tables will contain 50 columns. Tables will contain 100 columns like this. 100 columns like this. But out of this 50, 100 columns, we'll use only 5 or 6 columns in the reports or visuals. The tables will contain 50, 60 columns or 100 columns. But out of all these columns, in the reports, how many columns you'll use is some 5 columns or some 10 columns you will use it. So very less columns you will use it. We don't use all the 100 columns in the reports. We'll use only 5 or 10 columns. Take an example. My client provided the orders table to me. The orders table contains 21 columns in it. How many columns you have in this orders table means 21 columns are there. using the orders table, client is asking to create a report. Show me what is the total sales we are getting, sum of sales, and show me what is the region wise sales. Each region, how much sales we are getting. They're asking to create only two reports here. One is total sales. Using this orders table, they're asking to create one is total sales. Second one is region wise sales. To create these two reports or two visuals, do I need all the 21 columns? Means I don't need all the 21 columns. To create these two visuals, I just need two columns. One is sales column, second one is region column. These two columns are sufficient to create these two visuals. Then what is the need of loading these 21 columns? We don't need to load them. Fine, guys. So any unwanted columns, if you have, we need to remove it. So when client provided the tables will contain a lot of columns, 50, 100 columns, you will have it. So first understand what columns data we need to show in the visuals. Only bring that columns data. Even though when you have 50 columns here, if you need to show only 5 columns data in the visual, bring only 5 columns data into the Power Pivot. Remove remaining 45 columns data. Where you can remove it is, you can remove it in Power Query. Bring the table, remove the columns, and load the columns what we need. So let me show you how to remove it. To remove the columns, let's take an example. I need only 2 columns. One way, you can load all the 21 columns as it is. To create that visuals, you can load all the 21 columns as it is. When you click on close and apply, all the 21 columns will be loaded in the orders table. And you can show the two visuals. That is one way. Let's wait. So when you load 21 columns, what is the problem? So in the orders table, I'm loading all the 21 columns. Sales column I'm loading, region column, all other columns also I'm loading. When you do that, it will occupy space in the Power Pivot. When you load 21 columns, it will occupy more space. And you can even go and create the visuals here. You can show what is the total sales. I can take one card visual here and I can present. I can drag the sales column from the orders table. I can drag the sales column. I can drag the sales column. And once after showing the sales, I need to go to format, enable the border, and enable the shadow also here. Right. I want to show region wise sales. Go and take a visual or a table. I want region wise sales. I can drag the region. I can drag the sales here, or else you can even present it in the pie chart if required. So go and copy the format painter, paste it here. I can change the, I'll do some formatting, category, comma, data labels like this. So I'm able to show each region, how much sales amount you're getting and what is the total sales. Total sales I'm doing. I'm showing here. Now, so to show this, I don't need all the columns actually. So why we are bringing unnecessarily all the columns, it will occupy the space. What I can do is, with only 2 columns also I can create that visuals. Only with sales column, I can show what is the sum of sales. Only with the region and sales, I can show each region how much sales amount you are getting. I want to remove all other columns. So I want to remove 19 columns here. I want to keep only 2 columns. For that, what I can do is, so if you want to remove only less number of columns, so take an example. I want to remove only these 2 columns. I don't need these 2 columns. I want all other columns. So when you want to remove only 2 columns, you can select the 2 columns with control button. You can select row ID and order ID column with control button. Multiple columns if you want to select with control or control shift, both will work. So I'm selecting these 2 columns. Why? Because I want to remove these 2 columns. In the home tab, you'll find an option called manage columns. In the manage column, you will find an option called remove columns. When I click on remove columns, you will find 2 options, remove columns and remove other columns. When I click on remove columns, it will remove only the selected columns. When I click on remove other columns, except selected columns, it will remove all other columns. So when I click on remove other columns, it will keep only 2 columns. It will remove all other columns. So whenever you need to remove only these 2 columns, what is the best way is select these two columns, go and click on remove columns. When I click on remove columns, look at this, previously 21 columns are there. Now you remove two columns. You remove two columns, 19 columns are there. Whenever you need to remove less number of columns, remove columns is the best option. So the next one is it got added one step here. This time, what is our requirement is we need to keep only less number of columns. One column I need to keep is region. Second column I need to keep is sales. I want to remove all other columns. I don't want all other columns. What is the best way? Select region column, hold the control button and go and select sales column. Now this time, what you need to do in the same home tab, remove columns, click on remove other columns. When I click on remove other columns, it will remove 19 columns. It will keep only two columns. It will keep only two columns. Whatever the options you are seeing in the GUI, you can even see in the right click, guys. Let's assume if you want to remove these two columns, one way you need to select these two columns, go to home tab, you need to go here, you need to click on this. Other way, right click. When you right click, you can even find it. Remove columns. So when I click on remove columns, these two columns will be removed. When I click on remove columns, the two columns will be removed. So same thing you can find it. I want to keep only region column. I want to keep only sales column. And when I right click, you'll find remove other columns here also. Click on remove other columns. When I click on remove other columns, except the two columns, all the columns will be removed. Now when you click on close and apply, it will not load 21 columns to the Power Pivot. It will load only two columns to the Power Pivot. When you check it here, it is not loading all the 21 columns in the orders table. It is loading only two columns. With the two columns itself, I'm able to show what is the total sales, what is the region wise sales. Yes, right? Yes, I'm able to show it. Like this, whenever there is any unwanted columns, remove them. Now my client is asking to show, can you show me each category wise how much sales amount you are getting? Each category wise, how much sales amount you are getting? To show category wise sales, do you have any category column in the orders table? I removed it. You can easily get it back. So when you want an additional column, just go to Power Query and go to the step where you removed the columns. You will find a gear icon there. Go to the step where you remove the columns. You will find a gear icon there. Click on that gear icon. So then now you selected only region column and sales column. Now you are expecting category column also. Just go and select category column also. Click on category. So category column is somewhere here. Click on category, press OK. The category column also will come now. Just click on close and apply. When I click on close and apply, category column will come to Power Pivot. Then you can show category wise sales. Yes, category column is there. Now I can easily show category wise what is the sales amount you are getting. I can take one donut chart here. I'll keep somewhere here. I want to show category wise sales. Just go and drag category sales, copy the format pointer, paste it here like this. So later in the future, if you need any other columns for your analysis purpose, just go to the transform data. Just go to the step where you remove the columns. Click on the gear icon, which columns you need. Now let's take an example. I want subcategory column also. Just select the checkbox, press OK. You will even get that subcategory column also. Right? So now when I click on close and apply, the subcategory column also loaded into Power Pivot. Fine. We've seen what is remove columns, what is remove other columns. And there is an option called choose columns and go to columns. There are some cases where you will have hundreds of columns in the table. Let's take an example. Orders table contains 100 columns. Out of 100 columns, I want to load only 5 columns into the Power Pivot. Out of 100 columns, I want to load only 5 columns into the Power Pivot. Out of 100 columns, when I want to load only 5 columns into the Power Pivot, so going like this, scrolling like this, selecting the 5 columns what we need, it takes time, guys. Take an example. I have an orders table. I want to load country column. I want to load state column. I want to load sales column. I want to load profit column. and I want to load quantity column. Only 5 columns I want to load. Remaining, I want to remove. When you have more columns, scrolling like this, and searching for the columns, where is the country column? Searching for it. Country column I want. State column I want. So sales column I want, quantity column, profit column I want. So when I have more number of columns, searching like this and selecting the columns will take time. So the easiest way is when you have more columns, just go and use choose columns, guys. So go and use choose columns. Choose columns is the easiest way to remove the columns. When you have more number of columns in the table, choose columns is the easiest way to remove the unwanted columns. Just go to the choose columns. When you click on choose columns, it will open a choose columns window where it will show how many columns you have in the orders table. It will show in the form of a list. Now when it shows in the form of a list, you can uncheck and you can select what columns you want. I want country column, I want state column, I want quantity column, I want sales column, I want profit column. See how simple it is. You don't want to scroll like this. So it will show in the form of list, and once you select the columns, just press OK. Only the selected columns you will have. All remaining columns got removed. All remaining columns got removed. When I have more number of columns, to remove the columns, just utilize choose columns. In the choose columns, by default, the columns will be shown in natural order. In which order you have the columns? Natural order. Natural order means in the orders table, first column is row ID, it will show first. Second column is order ID, it will show next. Third column is order date, ship mode. So source order. In the source, which column is first? The same order it will show. Sometimes when the columns are in the source order, selecting the columns will take time. So when they're in alphabetical order, selecting the columns is easy. The next option you have is what? Name. You can sort it by name. You can sort it by name. Now when you sort it by name, you'll get columns from A to Z. Columns starting with A first towards Z. Now selecting the columns is easy. Country column, yes, C. State column, PQRS. And quantity column, PQ. Sales column, yes. Profit column, P. Like this, when they are in alphabetical order, searching for the column is easy. So you can even do that. Sometimes if you have more list, even when they are in alphabetical order, if it is taking time, you can utilize the search bar. You can utilize the search bar. I want quantity column, I can search it here. I want sales column, I can search it here. I want category column, I can search it. I can select the column, right? So either way you can do it. So once you select the columns, press OK. Except the selected columns, all other columns got removed. What are the columns you selected? Category, country, profit, quantity, sales, and state. These are the columns I selected. Remaining all other columns, it got removed. Right? There is one more option called go to columns. Go to column. So I want to write the filter condition on region column. So when you want to write the filter condition on region column, you need to check where the region column is there. You need to scroll like this and you need to check where the region column is there. Checking the region column in 100 columns, sometimes you might even miss it. And sometimes even you will not find it. When you have more number of columns, the easy way to go to that column is, there is an option called go to column. Guys, just click on choose columns, just click on go to column. When I click on go to column, it will show the list of columns you have. I want to go to which column, guys? I want to go to region column. Select the region column, just press OK. Look at this. Now I am in row ID column. When I select region column, when I press OK, I'll go and land on region column. Look at this. I will be landing on which column this time? Region column. I can go and apply my filter condition here. Or I can do whatever I want. I can see what data is there in the region column. I want to write something on order date column. I want to write a filter condition on order date column. So to go to order date column, instead of scrolling like this, what I can do? Now I am in sales column. I want to go to order date column. To go to order date column, just what I can do is go to the home tab, go here, click on go to column. Click on go to column. And which column I need to go, guys? I need to go to order date column. Select the order date here. Press OK. it will take you and land you in the order date column. Now I came almost to starting, right? These are the 4 options you have. Under this manage columns, we have 4 options. So to save the space in the power pivot, first remove the unwanted rows. Tables might contain millions of records. My table contains 20 years data. All the 20 years together, 50 million records are there. So my client is asking to create reports on only 5 years data. So 20 years, 50 million records, 5 years, only 20 million records. One way you can load 50 million records. So you can create the report by applying the filter condition on Power View. When you do that, it will waste unnecessary space. So instead of loading 50 million records, you want to load only 20 million records. Unwanted rows. I want to filter the rows. So you can use what filters concept to save the space in the Power Pivot. One way, remove the unwanted rows. To save the space in the Power Pivot, remove unwanted rows. How can you remove unwanted rows, guys? Whatever the rows you don't want, how can you remove? With a concept called filters. You can use filters. You can remove the unwanted rows. And to save the space in the Power Pivot, one more thing you can do is remove unwanted columns. To save the space in the Power Pivot, remove unwanted columns. Unwanted columns. So unwanted columns, where you can remove? Under manage columns, you can find the options to remove the unwanted columns. Just go to the manage columns and remove the unwanted columns. So people will tell that there is a space constraint in Power BI, in Power Pivot. Hardly you can build a data set with 10 GB size. The maximum data set size currently is 10 GB. So that means you can load 100 GB data. When you load 100 GB data, the data will be compressed and it will come to 10 GB, right? 10 GB, 1/10 of source data it will compressed. Power Pivot have a mechanism where it can compress the data till 1/10 of source data. When you load 100 GB data, it will approximately come to 10 GB. People will tell that 10 GB is less. So when you remove the unwanted rows, when you remove the unwanted columns, that space is sufficient, guys. So when client provided the tables, it will contain hundreds of columns, but we don't use all the columns in the reports and visuals. Whatever the unwanted rows or columns you have, if you can remove it here, you can save a lot of space in the Power Pivot. Fine. This is all about the remove columns, guys. Sometimes we need to rename the column. Let's take an example. I want to derive ship date minus order date, number of days taken for delivering the product. If you want to show number of days delivering the product, you need to do ship date minus order date. Ship date minus order date will give number of days taken for delivering the product. How can you do that, guys? So select the ship date column, hold the control button and select the order date column. Order date column. Now you will find an option in the add column tab. When you go to the add column tab, I'll discuss all this in the coming classes. When you go to the date, there will be an option called subtract days, right? So where you will find the option, guys? Go to the add column, go to the date, you'll find an option called subtract days. First I selected ship date and then I selected order date. It will do ship date minus order date. First, which one you selected? Minus second one it will do. Just click on subtract days, guys. When I click on subtract days, so look at this, 13th March and 11th March. So the order was shipped on 13th. It was ordered on 11th. Within 2 days, the order was shipped. You click on subtract days. Now I am in the middle, or else you can go to the starting record. For the starting record, the order was placed on 8th November. The order was shipped on 11th November. 11 minus 8. Within 3 days, the order was delivered. When you go here, it will show 3 here. Okay. So it is giving a column name, generic name, subtraction. This. So I want to rename this column. I don't like this name. I want to rename this column. To rename this column, right click on it. You'll find a rename option here. So you'll find some options in the right click. The same options you can even find in the GUI. Go to the transform tab. In the transform tab, you have an option called rename. You can utilize this option, or you can utilize right click, rename. Anything is fine. Now I'll go here, click on rename. It will allow you to change the name. I can modify this name, or else right click, or else just double click on the column. Double click on this column. When you double click on this column, it will allow you to change the name. So easy way is just double click on the column and change the name. I will give the name as number of days for delivery. I'll give a generic name. I can rename it. Like this, you can rename the column, guys. Once you rename the column, the next one is reorder the columns or sort the columns. If you look at this, when you derive any column, the column will come at the end. Yes, the column you will see at the end. At the end, you will see that column. So basically, this number of days for delivery is a related column, guys. Number of days for delivery is a related column to order date and ship date. It is a related column to what? Order date and ship date. So better to have that column after ship date. So beside order date and ship date, if you have number of days for delivery, I can compare the values whether they are correct or not. When you want to reorder the columns, how can you reorder them? Select the column, go to the transform tab. You'll find an option called move, guys. Whenever we need to move any columns you can go to, let's assume I have a product name column. I want to move this product name column somewhere to the left or right. So when you select the column, when you go here, you'll find move option, guys. Or else I have category column. I want to move this category column before product ID column, or I want to move this category column after subcategory column. You can select this, you can go here. There is an option called move to the left. When you click on move to the left, the category column will go before product ID column, one step left. Look at this, category column is now before the product ID. When I click on move to the right, it will go one step to the right. So when I click on move to the right, it will go one step right. So there is another option called move to the beginning. Move to the beginning means it will take you to the first column. This category column, when I click on move to the beginning, it will come to the first column. When I select this column, so the next one you will find there is move to the end. When I click on move to the end, it will come to the last column. So like this, you can reorder the columns. Now the requirement is there is number of days for delivery column. I want to move this column after ship date. One way to move this column is go to the transform tab, move, or else you can right click on it. You'll find the same move options here. So move to the left. So I don't go and show right click options from now. So keep in mind whatever the options you can find in the GUI, you can also right click. Whenever we need to move the columns, you can move it. Move to the left, only one step left. I want to move almost to the starting. What you need to do is select this column, go and click on this, move to the beginning, almost to the beginning. From now, from here I want to move after ship date. I want to click on move to the right one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So if you want to send this column after ship date, you need to click on move to the right for how many times? 4 times. Instead of that, you can even reorder the columns using mouse. Select the column with the mouse and change the order. So I am holding the column with the mouse and I'm moving that column. So when you move that column, whatever you want, you leave it. So now you are getting this column after already. I don't want here. I want this column after ship date. You can start moving it. You'll see one black line. So wherever you want, you can move it. Like this, you can reorder the columns. To reorder the columns, either you can use this move to the left, right, to the beginning or to the end, or You can hold it with the mouse and you can change the order. Anything is fine, guys. So the next one is column from examples. One of the important option, column from examples. Tomorrow, when you want to do something, you might forget the options. So you might forget the options, and when you forget the GUI option, if you remember how to use this column from examples, you can get whatever the output you want. Simply, I'm telling one thing, keep in mind. So tomorrow I want ship date minus order date. To get ship date minus order date, there is a GUI option in the add column. Go to add column, go to the date, ship date, select ship date first, then order date. Go here, click on subtract days. So I forget the option where it is available. I want to get ship date minus order date, but unfortunately I forget the option. So even though when you forget the option, if you know how to use this column from examples, you can get the output what you are expecting, guys. So let me explain what is this column from examples, how you will get the output. Fine. Now just hold the ship date column and order date column. I want ship date minus order date. I don't know where is the option, GUI option available to get that ship date minus order date. So when you do it, look at this here. So one way, if you remember the option, you can select it, go here, subtract days. So when you subtract days, you'll get date dot duration. Duration dot days is the M language function it is using. It is doing ship date minus order date. We are expecting ship date minus order date in days. Difference between the two dates in days you are getting. So I don't remember the GUI option, but I want the output. So what you can do is ship date, order date. Select these two dates and just go and click on column from example. There is two options when you click on this down button, from all columns or from selection. You want the output from all the columns or only selected columns. Now I want to derive number of days for delivering the product, number of days for delivering the product. To derive this, do you want to use only these two columns or all the columns? If you want the output from all the columns, select from all the columns. But if you want the output from only these two columns, select only these two columns. I want the output from only these two columns. So then you need to go and select from selection, guys. When you select from selection, it will add one new column in your table and it will select the two columns as source. Look at this, these two columns got selected as source and it given one additional column to you. So what you need to do in the additional column is enter sample values to create a new column. You need to enter some sample values here. You need to enter some sample values. 11 minus 8, how much it is? 3. So what is the output you are expecting here? 3. Go and enter 3 here. 3 here. So go and enter some more values here. 11 minus 8, how much it is? Again 3. So look at this. As soon as you enter some sample values here, it is writing some M language code. Date dot duration, duration dot days, ship date minus order date. Is it the output you are expecting? 100% this is the output I am expecting. Just press OK. Once you think that the output is correct, just press OK, guys. See how simple it is. You don't want to remember all the GUI options. Even if you don't remember the GUI options, you can get the output from column from examples by entering some sample values. Let me give some more examples. I have order date column. From order date, I want to derive the year. Look at this. From order date, I want to derive the year. One way to derive the year from the order date is, to derive the year from the order date, you can go and write some M language code. Or you can use first GUI option. Look at this. From order date, when I want to derive the year, select the order date column, go to the add column, go to the date. You will find an option called year. Just click on year. This is one way to derive the year. I'm successfully able to derive the year. Is writing date dot year from order date. Yes, I want year from the order date. You got the year. When you know the GUI option, the best way is go and get it using GUI option. Sometimes we might forget the GUI option. where it is available, but I want the output. If you want the output, how can you get it this time? This time I can get it using a column from examples, guys. So just go and select order date. Just go to the add column. Just go and click on column from examples. Column. I want the output from selected column order date. Click on from selection. It will select order date column as the source, and it will give an output column where you can enter the sample values. From this, what you want? Year 2016. Just go and type 2016 here. So just go to the next column. Now, as soon as you enter one sample value, it got written some M language code. Date.year from order date column. Is it the output you are expecting? Yes, this is the output I am expecting. So when that is the output you are expecting, just be created. Look at this, a new column will be created here. Like this, whenever you want to derive something, so look at this. The next one is I have customer ID column. I want text before hyphen. So look at this. I have a customer ID column here. In the customer ID column, I want the text which is before hyphen. So there is a hyphen. Before hyphen, whatever the text you have, I want in a new column. One way to get it is go to the add column, go to the extract, text before delimited. There is an option in the add column, in the extract. There is a GUI option called text before delimiter. You can do that. If you remember this GUI option, easy way to get your output is this. Go here, text before delimiter. The delimiter is hyphen. Before hyphen, whatever the text I have, I need it. I got it. So what is the M language code it is writing? The M language code it is writing is text dot before delimiter. In which column? Customer ID column. And what is the delimiter? This is the M language code it is writing in the backend. It is expecting text before the delimiter hyphen in the customer ID column. So, okay, perfectly you are getting when you use GUI option. So for some reasons, I forget the GUI option. But in the customer ID column, I need the text before delimiter. What you can do? You can select this column. You can go to the add column. You can go and click on from selection. I want the output from selected column. Click on from selection. Once you click on from selection, the source column got selected, and go and enter the sample values what you need in the output. I want sample value called CG. Just go and enter. As soon as I enter one value, it got written some code. Text before delimiter hyphen customer ID column. Is it correct? Yes, 100%. This is the output I'm expecting. Just press OK. You got the output here. So this is the column which I derived using GUI option. This is the column which I derived using column from examples. This is the column which I derived using GUI option. This is the column which I derived using column from examples. Column from examples. So whenever you forget any GUI option, you can utilize the column from example, guys. Take an example. This time I want customer name first 5 characters. I have a customer name column. I want just first 5 characters from the customer name column. First 5 characters. Easy way to get them is using a GUI option. In the add column, in the extract, you'll find first characters. I want first characters. Click on first characters. How many characters I want? First 5 characters I want. Press OK. When I click on press OK from the customer name, it is writing a M language code called text.start. Starting characters in the customer name. How many characters? 5 characters. It is the M language code it is writing. So I forget the GUI option. First, I want first 5 characters this time. When you want first 5 characters, select the column. Go to column from example. So just click on from selection. If you want the output from all the columns, so we never use from all columns, very rarely, but we need output from only selected column. Click on selected column. So this is the column which is source, and go and write. Look at this. It will give a different output. CLA IR is the first 5 characters. CLA IR is the first 5 characters. I'm giving first 5 characters. Look at this. When I give first 5 characters, it is writing as M language code something like this. Text dot before delimiter E. So I want first 5 characters, but it is not giving first 5 characters in some places. What it is thinking is, it is thinking that you are expecting a text which is before E. You're You're expecting a text which is before E. It is giving a text which is before E, but that is not my expectation. I want first 5 characters. Sometimes when you give only one sample value, the output you want will be something different. The Power Query will think in a different way. Provide some more sample values in that case. Now just go and add E also here. Just go and add one more character here. So when you give some more sample value, Power Query will change the mind. Power Query will change the mind, and it is writing some other M language code here. Text.start, customer name, first 5 characters. Yes. Okay. Fine, guys. This is about column from examples. One of the important option. So if you are able to get the output with GUI option, first you need to give the preference to GUI options only. Sometimes you are not able, you might forget where the GUI options are available. You don't know. You can try with column from examples. Sometimes you cannot get the output using GUI options and column from examples. Then you need to go with custom column, guys. Whenever you are not able to get something using GUI option, something using column from examples, we need to go with an option called what? Custom column. Now we'll talk about add column or custom column. Add column or custom column. Let's talk about this. Add column or custom column. What is this add column? What is this custom column? Let's see. So there is in the add column tab, there is a custom column. About this option, we'll discuss now. We already discussed about column from example, right? There is an option called custom column. We'll talk about this custom column. Sometimes, so take an example. I want to derive year from the order data. I don't know where the GUI option is available. I don't know about the column from examples. The other way to derive the year from the order date is you can go and write your own M language code. So to derive the year, what is the M language code you need to know? One thing, guys, you no need to learn M language. Whenever there is a requirement, you want to derive something, but you don't know what is the M language function. Just utilize Google, guys. Just open the Google and search for what you need from a date column. And I need to know what is the M language function I need to use. To derive year from date column, what is the M language function? So, or you can write M language function. To derive the year from date column, I need M language function. Just search it. Anyway, you can search it. So when you search it, you'll get some help documents, guys. And here, right click on it, open it. Whenever you need to derive the year from a date column, there is a M language function called date.year. Look at this. Date.year is the M language function. To that function, you need to pass date and time column. When you do that, you'll get the output year. Let's do that now. Very simple. Now I want to derive the year. I don't remember the GUI options. I don't remember the column from examples. Now I can just utilize, go to add column, click on custom column. When I click on custom column, it will open a window, custom column window, where that is computed from the other columns. You can derive the column using the other columns in the table. And you can write your own custom column formula. You can write your own M language code. Just go and write M language code. What is the function I want to derive? From order date, I want to derive the year. The function for that is date.year. One thing you need to keep in mind is M is a case sensitive language. You need to give in the same case how you are seeing. Need to pass in uppercase, remaining characters in lowercase. Y in uppercase, remaining characters in lowercase. First character uppercase, remaining characters lowercase. Make a note. M is a case sensitive language. M is what, guys? M is a case sensitive language. So when there is any M language function, so here you are seeing this in the M language function, D is in uppercase, remaining is lowercase. Y is in uppercase, remaining in lowercase. You need to write in the same case. If you write in all uppercase or lowercase, it will not work. But you have another language called DAX language in Power Pivot, right? DAX is not a case sensitive language. Pivot, it is not a case sensitive language. It's a case insensitive language. So you can give in any case here. But M language is there in Power Query, right? It is completely case sensitive, right? Now to this function, from which column you need year? So open the bracket, just pass order date column, just close it. That's it, guys. So I want year from order date. Just press OK. When I press OK, you got a year. This year we derived by writing the formula. Sometimes if you don't get something using ready-made geo options, when you don't get anything with column from examples, go to the Google and search for the requirement. Look at this. There are a lot of M language functions, date functions, lot of functions, comparison functions. So you'll find a lot of different functions, date and time functions, error handling functions. So logical functions, you can get it. Whenever there is any requirement, we can just browse it. What is the requirement? You'll get some help document, open that, see the equivalent function and use it. That's it, guys. Now, same way, I want to bring first 5 characters from customer name. To get the first 5 characters from customer name, I know text.start is the M language function. So we seen it. To get the first 5 characters, what is the M language function it is writing here? First characters. To get the first characters, text.start is the M language function. From which column, how many characters you want. So you can even Google it. I want first characters in M language. To get the first characters, first characters, so just click on it. To get first characters, what is the M language function? When I click on it, you will get the help document, text.start. Text.start is the M language function. So to this function, you want to pass one text column and you want to pass how many characters you want. To this text.start, you need to pass 2 parameters. One is text column, second one is count of characters you want. When you pass it, you will get the output. Let's do that now. So I want first 5 characters from customer name. So I want at the end, I'll add at the end, go here, click on custom column. And I want first 5 characters. First 5 characters using custom function. I'm writing some custom code to get the first 5 characters. So there is a function with the name what? Text.start. Text.start is the function. So you have it here. Just open a bracket. From which column? Customer name column. Comma. What is the next parameter you need to pass? I pass a text column here. From this text column, I want how many? 5. Just go and pass 5 here. Just close it. Just press OK. You'll get first 5 characters here. First 5 characters here. Like this, whenever we need to derive any columns, we can derive in any way, guys. You can use GUI options. You can use column from examples. At last, you can try with custom. At last, you can try with custom columns. The last preference you need to give is for custom column, guys. First, if you want to get, so if not, try with column from examples. If not, custom columns. 99% of our requirements can be achieved with GUI options and column from examples itself. In case if you are not getting something, just go and use custom column. You will came to know in the coming classes. I'll go and use this custom column option. Where are the cases? We'll write 1 or 2 lines of code, right? So I'll stop here for today.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
Anybody have any questions? What we discussed so far? Someone unmuted. Please tell me. What's your question? Anybody have any questions?
Actually, we have a 2 tables. Yes,
Ah,
sir.
mm,
We have two tables. In the both tables have a order ID with the relationships.
ah.
Order ID is the relationship. So while removing, I have removed the order ID. Why is relationship will maintain or it will be
No, no, it
detected?
will it will broken. It will broken. You need to keep related columns also between the tables. Related columns you need to maintain. So to take an example, in the people's table or in the returns table, I have order ID column. The common column between these two tables is order ID column. So if you go and remove this order ID column here and here, the relationship will 100% broken. So you need to keep what columns is whatever the columns you need for relationships, 100% you need to keep it. And along with that, you need to keep the columns which you need to show in the reports. Relationship columns we need to maintain. You are not supposed to remove it.
Okay,
Any other
same way
questions?
as calculated fields as.